And so step 8 is tracking your macros and micros. This is a very, very key part of the macro part. But also, this is the part that keeps you on track and it helps you understand your food home a lot better. So, like we said, everyone has a food home. You may not be aware of it, but you do have a food home, and tracking it is going to let you start to understand what your food home is. And this is a great way to start being replacement also. So one of the things I usually have clients do is track 3 days. So usually within 3 days, it gives a very good example of what's your food home, and actually, then it's just easy to modify it. And so the other part about tracking is the goal can only be achieved when it's tracked and measurable. And remember, this is a marathon. So we want you to reach your goal, and I know you want to reach your goal. You wouldn't be here to spend this money. So this is why you want to track. And so we're going to go through the protein myth. Veggies have protein. Let me say that again. Veggies have protein.
Yes.
All animals get protein from vegetables. Most of us were just born and it was taught that we have to eat the animal for protein, but you can get it from the source. Also, what is the missing ingredient in the standard American diet? It's not protein. There is not a protein deficiency in most parts of the world. It's a fiber deficiency. And we're going to talk about that because fiber is the key part of your gut microbiome, which is very, very important.
Yeah. So this is all Jason's wheelhouse. It's going to be really, really impressive. I'm going to share just one little tidbit on why this might be important if your mind doesn't operate the same way that he does, right? So, which mine doesn't, so it's totally cool. The reason that I love this idea of tracking, especially at the beginning of your journey, we're not going to say this is something you have to do forever. And for us, it was something we started off doing and we shifted. But the reason that tracking can be so helpful is that it really helps to affirm your decision, affirms your mindset, right? We've been teaching you all of these concepts moving forward, and we told you, you're going to hear things. People are going to be like, well, you probably aren't getting enough protein. I'm worried about you. I'm worried for your health, right? And so people will say, well, are you getting enough nutrition? Are you getting the vitamins and minerals that you need? Are you sure? But people really, when you start to do something different, the people around you, out of love usually, they'll start to worry. They'll start to wonder if you're okay. And we told you, you want to have a sense of certainty about what you're doing. And just like self-education is important, this is an element of self-education within your math. This allows you to know, you know what? I'm getting plenty of protein because I've plugged in my information. Wow, I've met my requirement for the day. I've exceeded my requirement for all of these vitamins and nutrients, so I know that I'm healthy. I've got what I need. Right, so that's why this is so beneficial, especially early on in the journey. I don't track anymore, but when we first got started, I heard all this stuff, like, what about protein, what about this and that? And so we downloaded an app and we were like, well, let's find out. And we want to give you these tools that you can do the exact same, okay?
So as you see on the screen, here's just 3 examples from vegetables. You have baked potato, cup of spinach, and a cup of oats. And so this is just to show you that protein is in everything. So the medium baked potato has 4 grams of protein and only 0.2 grams of fat. Now take a screenshot of this if you want to, if you're using your phone, or write it down. Just pause and write these numbers down because this is really, really important. Now the fiber is 15% of your daily value that you need. Here's a statistic that most people don't know. The average American only gets 5% of fiber throughout the day. From this one medium baked potato, you're getting more than the average American. 1 cup of spinach has 7 grams of protein, 1.7 grams of fat, and you're getting 25% of your daily fiber. Now, this is not even a complete meal. And just if you ate a medium baked potato and a cup of spinach, you're at 40% of your daily value of fiber. Mm-hmm. Crazy. That's shocking. Mm-hmm. Now, 1 cup of oats. Oats is a great superfood. You have 10 grams of protein, 5.3 grams of fat, and 33% of your daily fiber. So if you just ate this, which no one does, you got 73% of your fiber. Mm-hmm. And remember, the average American only gets 5%. So 5% to 73%, what would your body look like? Those are the questions to start asking yourself. That's the power of self-education. Like if you know that the average is getting this, and now you track and you see you're getting this, that might be the difference in what's making you feel. Your total protein, 21 grams. Your fat, 7.2 grams. So if you see, these are based off of my numbers. I'm 38 years old. I'm 230 pounds. And it tells me at the very least, I need 28 grams of protein. Just from these three small sources, I'm at 21 grams. I'm almost that could be a breakfast for me very easy. And I already hit it. So now I want to show you what meat looks like. So an 8-ounce steak contains 60 grams of protein, but it also contains 34 grams of fat. Everyone always talk about where's your protein, but where's the fat? Like where's fat coming from? Like we're in an epidemic now of morbid obesity, but no one's talking about fat. Everyone's talking about protein, but not the correct sources of protein. But also look, you get no fiber, 0% fiber. And also, oh, can you go back one slide? The other thing I want to bring up is B12. We're going to explain that next. B12, no one gets it in their diet. The only reason you get it in the standard American diet is because it's fortified within the meats and milks and dairies. Can you go back, please? And so I'm not going to tell you how it's fortified in there. Google it or watch What the Health, the documentary that we suggested. It will explain why. I don't want to go into that today. And so 6-ounce chicken breast has 52 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat, and yet again, no fiber. You're starting to see a pattern here. There's no fiber. So 4 strips of bacon, and I'm going to be honest with you. Remember we said in the beginning, be honest with yourself. Who can eat 4 strips of bacon? I will probably eat 4 strips of bacon and warm up for the next pack. So 4 strips of bacon is very unrealistic in the American diet. And it contains 10 grams of protein, 11 grams of fat, and 0 fiber. So on this, if you're doing just that, you have 122 grams of protein. Wow, that's great. However, 52 grams of fat and 0 fiber. You took in all this protein and fat, you have no fiber to help your gut microbiome, which also controls your mood. And so let's compare that. With the plant-based diet, you had 21 grams of protein. I only need 28 for a day, compared to 122. 7.2 grams of fat in the plant protein, in the plant-based diet, 52 grams of fat in the animal diet. Right there alone, which one do you think is going to be more obese? A meat eater or a plant-based eater? And all our doctors say we need to lose weight. And also the biggest thing is fiber. Just from those 3 things, three plant sources, you're getting 73% of your daily value of fiber. And from the meat sources, you have none. And so just to give you an example, next slide, please. This is a snapshot of my macros. This is from what I ate the day before. So as you see, I got 96 grams of protein, a total of 53 grams of fat. And literally, I got 1 gram of fat more than a meat-based diet of eating those 3 meats. 1 gram more from plants. So there's a lot of nutrition in plants. Really think about that. Look at this screenshot. Fiber, 482% of my daily value of fiber. That is insane. If the average person is getting 5% and I'm eating 482%, there's a reason why all those medical issues are probably no longer there. There's things that I am doing that the average person is not doing. From B12, 200%. Now we get our B12 from niche. That is just a plant-based word for nutritional yeast. It is a natural plant-based source to get B12, and we'll talk more about that in the next part. Calcium, 928%. We always heard calcium for strong bones. You're getting it from plants. And so some of the apps that you can use, now this app right here is Chronometer. It's not a free app. I believe it's like $2.99, but don't let price get in the way of your health. So you don't have to pay for this app. You have MyFitnessPal, which is a free app. You can do Google searches of just, hey, what is nutrition in this? What is nutrition in that? Write it down. Also, look through your Android and App Store. There's tons of free apps out there. There's tons of beta programs and things. Don't make excuses to why you can't track, because this is very important, and this is what's going to make your map get you to this part of the mapping is going to get you to your goal. And not just anything you want to add to it?
For your homework, homework.
Oh, for the homework, and I love homework. For the next 3 days, track every single thing that you eat and drink. The biggest thing I've seen with clients is most people underestimate how much vegetables they eat, and they underestimate how much water they drink. Those are the two big things. So track every single thing. And if you're one of those busy people, like I used to use that as an excuse all the time, not tracking, I'll show you. One of the lovely things about dollar stores, you can buy little journals like this for $1. And they even have some that can fit in your backpack. Every time you go eat, write it down. First thing you do, write it down. Even I even used to set notes in my phone for the calendar every hour. Did you eat? It would say, did you eat? If so, write it down. And that's just ways to make sure you're not unconsciously eating. And you want to make sure that you're conscious of every single thing that you're putting in your